Hey everyone, welcome to another thrilling episode of Chairmen on the Board. I am Tyler.
And I'm Danny.
And today we're going to be doing our film review. And what film are we reviewing, Danny?
Rocketman.
Rocketman is the story of Elton John. Obviously some imagination in some of the trailers, so we're looking at some imaginative ways of looking at the story, which is fun because you don't want to sit there and watch someone's story without a little bit of entertainment.
Pizzazz.
Exactly. And who is directing it, Danny?
Dexter Fletcher.
Awesome. And our lead role?
Taron Egerton, of course,
you've
seen in the Kingsman, and he was the gorilla in Sing.
Which he tore it up in the gorilla.
Yeah.
Which is probably how he got into this role. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump in the movie. We'll go ahead and tell you how it is once we get out, and then we will do our sit down like we normally do from now on. So you guys stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yep.
So how does a boy from nowhere get to be a rock star?
Write some songs.
Critics are raving. Rocketman is an epic musical fantasy that reaches for the sky.
It's magic.
It's a brilliant, electrifying film.
It's gonna blow your mind.
Unlike anything you've ever seen.
It's never gonna last. Let's just enjoy it while we can.
Rocketman.
Well, we just watched the show. We just
Yes.
saw Rocketman.
Yes.
The story of Elton John. I did like how elaborate it was and how matching him, it was a very flamboyant show. There was
Definitely.
a lot of spectacle.
Definitely out there. A lot of good music.
A lot of great music. Obviously all his, and then they kind of improvised and made things, well, not improvised, but they kind of sculpted it around the scenes and
Piece
stuff
things
like that.
together and really just like, man, it was a good show.
It was good. Like, I was actually taken back by a few things, and a lot of symbolism. That's one thing I was like, and I mean, to the point where like adults would get it, and you kind of know what's going on and what they're representing with like some of the symbolism. Knowing now that it's basically a musical. It's a musical.
It's musical.
But
Just be prepared for that.
it's like a musical light. I'm thrilled to go sit at home, and we'll discuss this more. We'll go into some of the specifics
and give our final score.
and give our final score. Do you want to hold out on the score then?
Or do you want to do like a pre-score and then see when we talk about it more
I thought
and
you
give a
don't like to
post-score?
I thought you don't like to change.
Well,
the
you
order.
never know.
No.
You never know.
Okay. Well, I say, how about this? On the count of three, we'll give our score, and then we'll just say what it is, and then we'll wrap up in here.
Okay. Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3,
10.
Oh!
Dude!
Best friend!
Yes!
I did 2 hands, you did 1, but it's
It
okay.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we high five.
Okay, so 10.
10.
To keep it short and brief.
Yes.
It was just, the entertainment level was so high, the music level was there.
Story was easy to follow.
So amazing story to follow. And like they used a lot of these crazy segues and transition time. And like the music almost was like a transition of time.
Yeah.
So every time they sang a song, it was like, we're gonna segue to the next timeline.
Taron Egerton is awesome.
He tore it up.
So good.
And I'm glad that
So
they
good.
ended on the song that they did because that's the song that kind of got him the role when he did sing.
Right.
So that being said,
real quick, if you still haven't seen the film and you're looking forward to seeing it, stop the video right here.
stop
So
now.
stop now. We still love you. We know you love us.
Watch our other videos.
Yeah, watch other videos right now while you're waiting to see this one. But anyways, stop the video.
So that being said, we're going to be see you on our sit down in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Stay bored. Hey everyone, and welcome to our sit down for the movie Rocketman.
Yes.
Now that we came home, kind of thought about it, what we liked, what we didn't like, although there's not much on the ladder of that list.
Right.
We are going to go over it quickly though, so hang in there with us, because we'll move fast.
Yeah.
Once again, if you haven't seen it, turn this off.
Right. First things first, story's really easy to follow.
Super easy.
I really enjoyed the musical numbers. I thought they were really well put together. I thought that they were elaborate. They fit Elton John's personality. So everything was just really, really well done.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed just how much fun it seemed to be in the film, like how much energy and excitement. The choreography was amazing. A lot of the same dancers were out throughout the entire film, which is great because you know, like they must have had a solid bond and connection to like the main cast and everything, because it was just so much constant usage of them, and the choreography was amazing and long, and they had these such long cuts to the scenes, and it drew my attention right away to that, and maybe because we've studied film and stuff.
Yeah.
Where you're seeing these long cuts, you're like, man, the work that they must have had to do just to make that one cut. That was, you know, like 4 minutes long, but 4 minutes long of an uncut dance scene takes a lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know, or even 2 minutes is a lot of rehearsal. And some of our friends who are dancers can attest to that. A lot of symbolism.
Yeah, Tyler touched on that too early on, is the symbolism.
Yeah.
Everything symbolized something that's going to happen.
Speaking of the troubadour, you know, he's in there playing, and he starts to float, and you can see and they talked about the stars raising and all this stuff.
Yeah, and he's taking off.
And he's taking off now, and there was symbolism behind the Rocketman, and and he's taking off, and the audience is coming along with him, and you see the audience floating, and then literally he turns into a rocket at one point and goes up and explodes.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I loved about the movies. They did these really cool segues. So he goes up as a rocket, explodes, and on impact of the airplane, and he's in the airplane, and he wakes up.
Yeah.
And he's like, holy cow! I feel like Elton John's life, because they made a few references to that where he's like, time frames were gone. He doesn't know what's going on or where they're at, and he's even like, hey, I should. And there's a couple times where he's like, we should stop drinking.
Yeah.
We should stop this stuff because I'm getting. And he, there's one part where it's like, yeah, that was supposed to be next week, and they're like, it is next week.
Mm-hmm.
His manager / lover / jerk.
Dick.
Yeah, he was
mean.
He was mean. He was not a good person to have
And
around.
it's just like, it kind of goes back to even the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. You seeing somebody taking advantage of somebody who was so well liked and well respected and on their way up, and was just in it for the money.
And with Elton John, he was truly in love. He thought he was in love, and he was chasing love.
Yeah.
And because of his father and having that
disconnect
with his father, and daddy issues go through men too.
Yeah.
And he had this daddy issue where he just needed a male figure, and he found it in this man, and he was really forcing love out of this guy, and then love wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that was part of the problem for him, was he was really chasing this. I mean, even early on, you find out this guy's a total tool and the worst person ever. But yet, years later, Elton John's living with him. They're in the house together. He's paying the bills for him still.
But honestly, for me, wrapping it up, because go see it.
Yeah. Any scenes that just
really kicked it off for me. Oh God, I just.
While you're thinking, I'll jump.
I thought there was just parts where Taron Egerton really became Elton John, and there's a montage where he's at the piano and he's spinning around in circles, and there's just certain points where dude, that looks just like Elton John, and the dude really just submerged into the character, and I think that's what really helped me just stay in the film, and I removed myself, I could remove myself from reality and just live in this world, and I think that's what made it so much fun and such a fantastic experience.
And the music takes over you.
Yeah, and you just kind of get lost in the whole thing.
Yeah, for me, it was the idea of symbolism really took over the film, and the biggest one for me was when the father, when he goes back to his father after being worth $26 million, he rolls up in a Bentley, and he's, the father has new sons now, obviously 2 new kids, and he's in there, and he's like, hey, will you sign this record? And he tells the boy, one of the sons, to go get a record. And that was big on so many aspects, because one, he's letting this kid touch records, which Elton John was allowed to do, and you can see it in the face of Egerton, he's it slightly, for a moment, you can see that it affected him, because he's he can grab the record? And not just that, but it's he wants him to sign it, and it's but sign it for somebody else, and it's not even for him, and it's not that big a deal. And it can go different ways with the record signing. It's either that son is better than Elton John because that son can grab the record, or Elton John's music isn't as great as the jazz that the father liked, or isn't as important as the jazz the father liked. So the son can handle that out of that record, because it's not, if it gets damaged, it doesn't matter to him. So it can be taken different ways, or even both ways, and maybe that's why it was such a big deal. But that being said, quickly wrapping it up, everything still stays at 10 for me. I think Danny agrees.
I'm staying with a 10. Solid film. Go see it if you haven't yet. Even if we ruined it for you, just go see it anyways. It's worth it. Trust me.
Yeah, there's so much we didn't cover, and there's so much going on that you'll be thoroughly entertained and enlightened, and makes you kind of leave the movie wanting to write your own music.
Honestly, from the films we've seen so far, this is number 2. Number 1 being Endgame, and number 2 right now being Rocketman.
Yeah, and then coming in third is Bohemian Rhapsody. A tight third. And they were both great, but with the amount of fantasy and imagination that the movie Rocketman matches the subject matter so much with this creativity and out there and flamboyant and bright that you're they encapsulated it.
And it was good to see that Elton John was the executive producer, because he had a lot to say about the film, so he was a lot closer. I think with Bohemian Rhapsody, it's told through other people's eyes, because unfortunately we lost Freddie Mercury in the 90s, so it's kind of hard to necessarily say exactly what you want to say through that film, but still, amazing film. Rocketman, awesome. Go see it.
Alright everyone, so wrapping it up here, I am Tyler.
I'm Danny.
And we are the Chairmen Board. Thank you for tuning in. If you saw the movie, or haven't seen the movie, or have any comments to say, well, why not leave them at the bottom?
Yeah.
And then go ahead and tell us what you thought.
Like this, please share it. Even if you didn't like it, then make your enemies sit through it
Several
times. Play it backwards because there are secret messages that we leave in every one.
We don't.
No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe there's a recipe for a good vegan chili in there. You never know. Anyways.
That being said,
yeah.
Once again, I am Tyler.
And I'm Danny.
And we are the Chairman Board.
Yeah.
You stay bored out there, everyone, and stay tuned for our other projects.
Yeah, and I'm still standing. I'm still standing better than I ever did.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to fight. I'm not the man.